Sorry guys. Game ketiga guys. Belum nyalain.
Were they the ones that picked up the Valorant? No, they actually go for the Claude and the Zaz. It's a debut pick for Claude in the MWI, I think.
Oh,
Anjir, Cloud.
you might be right actually, and that's a big surprise because Claude used to be the universal
meta
fallback.
is the one.
Claude was that goal laner that would never go. Wow, Khalid
So
Hilda.
two aggressive fighters on the side of Terror Queens, inflicting fear into the hearts of the Porcupines.
Khalid, Hilda, Yisun Shin make a lot of sense for the way that Terror Queens wants to play the game, and 1-1 actually does take care of herself pretty well, but Zusin is still kind of a weird pick in this particular position, since it doesn't offer quite enough direct crowd control or damage over time. ONIC, they have taken a little bit of a page out of the Terror Queen's book. Livy going to be able to take a little bit better care of herself now on that Zask, but it's still a weird comp.
Jak Cloud guys, keluar
This
guys.
is weird. I would say it is fresh. It's new. It's something that both these two teams haven't encountered before in maybe their practice, their scrims, but they've definitely done research before. But this is it. No changes now. The final game. ONIC, PERTIWI up against the Terror Queens. Whoever wins goes up with the 4th place. Will Terror Queens be able to rewrite the script and take out ONIC?
Hey guys,
Or
fokus
will
game.
ONIC remain on the throne?
We have already witnessed history being rewritten once today. Will Terror Queens be
Draftnya.
a second author?
BTW ini kameranya mana nih?
New epic. ONIC going to be the ones to try and put a stop to that. Looking at the emblems on both sides, nothing too out of the ordinary overall. I think, yes, we are seeing the double concussive blast as well coming in from Terror Queens. It is a flicker on the Khalid, so not going for more defensive options since playing Rina is the one playing it in the EXP lane.
You got a lot of zonal potential using the Nightmaric spawn just to get additional reach over onto Luna Lin, taking a lot of damage so far. I like how aggressive Terror Queens is, and Ku has really adjusted the way that her aggression works. It's not aggressive without reason. She's aggressive and giving intelligence. See, she's on reconnaissance duty. She sees 4 members. Now she knows she needs to back out. Terror Queens very disciplined this game.
We can see the instant shift from Rui going up into the goal lane instead, but Yippee gonna choose to play it safe. Claude does have a bit of a hard time 1v1ing 1-1 early in the lane, so the goal of the ONIC gold laner is just to make sure that she is able to farm up to get that Trinity and then come online into the mid to late phase.
To be honest, Sadafa, I think we're in for a very long game. 1-1, Claude, very late game heroes, or I would say mid to late. We're seeping into like maybe that 12-minute mark where almost out of full item builds
Thing is, I'd ordinarily agree, but it's Terror Queens. Just look at the way they play.
Yeah, speaking of which, Ku already trapped under between a rock and a hard place. Revitalize will keep her safe. No sprint for her, so she won't be able to get too aggressive. But Helena is on flanking duty, trying to find a wraparound. They see where Helena is. The turtle down to a quarter, down to a half. As Terror Queens trying to ramp this up, waiting for Rui to get in position. Turtle gets a reset.
I think they're gonna take this slow.
Oh no,
Ooh,
not a lot of
on.
reset though. There's a fist crack onto
Sep,
Sandstorm.
kedua retri. Masih dapat Rui, anjir.
Rui and Luna Lin pulls everyone back out of the way.
Kena ini ya, kena
takes down and splits up that fight.
Okay.
Kena kapal ya guys ya,
Honestly,
kena
I
kapal
gotta give
ISS ya.
props at this point. Rui's retry timing is actually ridiculous. It doesn't really matter the situation you're in. This girl finds the objectives. They end up trading 1-for-1. It's actually not so ideal for Terror Queen since they lost their jungler, but it's somewhat balanced out by the fact that they were able to take the turtle. So it ends up being fairly 50-50 for now.
A little bit of a slower game this time around. None of these two teams want to push the situation too far in. And Terror Queens they are playing as a unit now. The mid lane duo clearing out that waves, making the rotations to shift it away, shift the attention away from the EXP side. They want to take down Yippee as much as possible to identify that that is the critical and crucial player. You got a Mountain Shocker ready. Ku is on Poo duty. Ku trapped underneath a wall. Will not be able to escape. Another kill over the Terror Queens as the rest of the Gloom Squad coming into position. You got the Dominators and the spawn trying to zone out and deal a little bit more information onto the rest of Terror Queens.
So far, so good for the Terror Queens. Definitely making use of this Hilda's presence. Now Valera forced to use Vengeance too.
They're trying to rush this down. From Sam, taking 2 down. Terror Queens on the back foot, a little bit too greedy there on that T1.
Yeah, they stayed for a bit too long. Again, not really putting enough attention on scouting out the rotation from the mid side. The 2-man Blade Surge from Sam set that up perfectly and melted them down so fast.
Quick little lane swap. Yippee, Raging Sandstorm. I think that was supposed to be a cancel though. But I think, oh man, that was a little bit of a tough position. Blazing Duet just used to clear up that lane. Yippee knows that Henrina doesn't have the ultimate, so won't be able to join in. The turtle getting pulled back, getting that reset. Ku keeping the rest of ONIC busy. Sakoshi coming down. It's going to be a 5-man fight, but they're going to ditch that turtle for now. Keeping control and getting that pressure onto the mid wave.
This first turtle, the second turtle, going to be once again contested. Rui so far has proven that her excellence in being able to secure the retreat battles still does have the EXP lead despite conceding a death earlier on. That is the farm speed of the Yisun Shin. Ku gonna be okay, but loses out the Revitalize to the flank from the mid lane. I think Terror Queens does need to mind their angles a little bit better. They should be diving further with the Khalid Hilda.
There's the power of Yisun Shin. Rui's already level 8, just waiting for the right time.
Retreat masih dapat Rui, anjir. Anjir, Rui ngeri banget, bro. Wah, tapi di lock masih Lera sih.
Takes one down, Poo follows Rui as well, but they have the objective on hand. It's a 3-man punish onto Navalera.
Anjir, masih hidup, kira masih hidup ya.
From the lanterns of Lunalin.
It ends up being a pretty
Kalau Cici pakai kolam bagus kali ya?
but it would have been even better if they actually got that last hit on Zev as well. It would have been 1 for 3 trade and the turtle. But because that one does end up being the Yisun Shin, Rui is unfortunately getting the short end of the stick a little bit. Still though, out farming Zev at this point. Terror Queens are in their comfort zone. Having this Hilda and Khalid allows them to just run their bodies at their opponents in these first few stages. Looking at the itemization right now, there is a Sky Piercer on the side of Luna Lin, and it looks like Rui might be building one too. Yeah, Rui gonna complete a Sky Piercer. Sakoshi also going for a more utility 1-1 build with the Wind Talker and Rose Gold, with a focus on survivability in the early game.
Interesting, usually you just have that
Wow.
but here comes the rest of Terror Queens trying to block out the advances from Navalera, trying to give some space over to the back.
Ayo badangnya masuk tuh. Wah, anjir, tapi di zoning sama Khalid, anjir.
You got the rest of the Terror Queens trying to gun them down. He's trying to split that fight.
Ya
If he goes
ampun.
down, Rui takes one out as well.
Aduh, bisa ngolik dalam late game-nya nih.
They're coming back on top again, 3,500 goal lead.
Anjir, Terror Queen ngeri-ngeri gini guys.
Very effective engagement taken from Terror Queens right now. You can see that this lineup was drafted with a particular purpose. And if we look at the highlights once again, they are causing havoc. Ku got picked up very early on, but you can see that ONIC may have committed too many resources. And a really nice jump in the backline with the Flicker Raging Sandstorm from Kling Rina instantly stopped their engagement and forced them back, leaving Yippee in the lurch.
Where does the damage come from? This is still pretty much in the seeping into the mid game.
Oh nih, badangnya dapat gitu Sakoshi.
Speaking of which, Sakoshi trapped into 4.
Wah, terbang one-one-nya.
She's surrounded, buying some time for the turret to come in. Sakoshi is still up safe. They're pushing it in underneath the turret. They're keeping it disciplined. Arena back on duty, but the mid lane is in shambles. Rue's taking care of
Wah,
that
ya
one.
saya datang lagi.
Oh, definitely jumped the gun there. It was a good catch with the Flicker Fist Break, but your
Wah,
team is not close
ONIC kalah kah?
enough to whittle down the 1-1. And remember, this is a hero that has a build.
Ini kalau ONIC kalah, kalau ONIC kalah pulang nggak, guys?
Jumps out of that, picks up the crossbow of tank stacks, then your team isn't going to be able to do anything. It needed to be a tighter formation. It was not worth it for the Badang to try and force that situation.
What was the turning point? What was the turning point where ONIC was kind of head-to-head with Terra Queens, but right now Terra Queens are standing on top of a mountain with 45,
Ini si Chef
50,
itemnya ada apa aja nih, guys?
100 gold.
It was around the second turtle, maybe a little
Menit
bit before
8,
the second
5.000
turtle.
kah
Because the
bedanya?
first one was
Kok
fairly
3 turtle
50-50.
ada
Rui has been
semua?
very effective in
She's
stealing
level
objectives.
13.
3 level difference
3
between
level
junglers.
bedanya,
I
Cok.
mean, that's already a
Junglenya
clear
anjir.
sign. And Rui was the first
Iya,
there.
mati lagi dong,
Raging
Pilara.
Sandstorm, Vengeance already popped. Crucial resources gone from ONIC. Terra Queens taking control of
Udah
all
dikasih
the
ke
jungles.
farmingannya.
No more T1s. You're dealing with that T2 down the bot side. Fishcraft try to push everyone away. You get Mountain Shocker.
Oh,
A lot of
anjir.
damage from Rui. You're taking out
Massive.
one around the
Woo.
falls. As Terra Queens are inflicting fear
Ngeri banget,
onto the
Cok,
hearts
ini
of
kanan.
Porcupine once again.
The beautiful mountain shocker from Rui. This Yisan Shin, a pick that ONIC just kind of forgot about here. Such a good way for them to engage, catching out 2 squishies, chasing ONIC back, cutting off their escape. Terra Queens are playing this perfectly. This is the definition of controlled chaos, and the goal lead is just slowly building up more and more. ONIC, their chance
Bawa
of
parah
jumping
sih
back
kanan
into
ini.
this game is
Oh, Zeph?
slimming.
There's one more hit. All the way in. The arrow strikes her heart and takes her down. Zap is nowhere to be found. The Lord comes up. Terra Queens making a beeline for it. They will blitz this down.
Nih,
The
Claudio-nya
Sky
satu item lagi, satu item lagi.
We thought it
Claudio-nya
was
tahan,
going to
tahan,
be
tahan, tahan.
greedy coming in from Rui, but it is working out. There's a 2k difference between her and Zev.
7.000, guys.
And that is from the first blood being given over. This Lord is now free. Terror Queens in full control of the map. And normally when you go Hilda Khalid, you are risking a potential outscaling in the mid game, but their success so far has bought them so much more time. It's going to take ages for ONIC to actually reach the point where they can actually outscale these very oppressive divers.
In the early game, Yippee was playing aggressively against the 1-1. Always in her face, always using those shots and taking those damage down, but now Sakoshi's
Wah,
eating
NTK,
all that
ONIC,
up
NTK.
because she has the healing potential from the House Claws, from the lifesteal effect. Look in the bot side, Zev taking a ton of damage, and Terra Queens are keeping them busy. You got a
Ayolah,
pepper spray
21
from
ONIC lah.
Lin, try to zone everyone out of the way. Sakoshi's
Wah, ini nggak
damage is
kena lagi
starting to
Lordnya,
show.
nggak kena oleh defense.
Rui's damage is also starting to hurt. You get a lower margin down on the mid side. Ku taking a lot of
Kunya
damage.
mati. Oh, dapet tuh pedangnya.
Ku will fall.
Wah,
Yippee
mati
take that
semua
down.
tapi, guys.
Rui takes down another one. It's a double kill for Rui. The Eastern
Yeah.
Shin is on a triple.
NK?
They're looking for the drone. Rui gets
Aman,
on
aman, aman,
safe.
aman, aman.
It's not for
Tarik
it.
nafas, tarik nafas.
ONIC still has that defense, but it's a 2-on-4. They have another way pushing in.
Are they
Wah,
about to do it
the
right
end.
now? The crystal
target
is
is on.
open. They have
Yeah.
the advantage.
NT kah? GG ONIC. Anjir, NT, Cok.
Fourth place.
Terror Queen ngeri gini, guys.
For the Burmese Queens.
If they weren't the dark horses before, they surely are now. Another
Yeah, lo,
Titan,
guys.
another potential champion of the MWI has been eliminated.
Anjir,
in
di
the
taunting
first
tuh, di taunting, di
stage
taunting.
of the knockouts.
Mahal.
The momentum that the Queens has brought on the table, the emotions, they have done it. They
Langsung
said
KO,
during
Cok.
interviews in previous games that they